glad you could be here with me. I haven't been here for so long. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you so much for your support on my channel, guys. It's been really great. Haven't been here for a while. It was a crazy year last year, and the beginning of this year was just really slow taking off. But I know some of you had requested me to do the, I think it's Nicola Bully case, as well as updates on the Delphi case. And I did try to connect with Nicola's case, but I just didn't feel it, so I just can't do that one. It might change in future, I'm not sure, but at the moment I'm just not being drawn to it. And with the Delphi, I think I've exhausted that so much. I've done so many case studies and spirit sessions and tarot readings, you name it, on the Delphi case. I feel they have the right guy. I feel like there's more people involved as well. But we are doing Traie Olsen's reading today, and this is an Australian case. I don't do a lot of Australian cases, but I felt drawn to doing this. And Traie was or is a 50-year-old woman who went missing from Toowoomba, Queensland, Australia on February 17th, 2022, last year as I'm doing this reading now. And what happened was she was seen on CCTV footage at a petrol station at 1 a.m. and she had a minor, I think it was minor altercation with another driver driving a red ute. And in the CCTV footage, you can see her having a conversation with this guy, like he comes over to her, and you can see that she's quite aggressive, like on the defense, really angry with him, it looks like, and pointing her fingers at him, or pointing her finger at him. So it's like she's very angry about something, feeling the need to defend herself, and it was, you know, that's the last that anyone saw of her, except for maybe the person that was involved in her disappearance. Her car was found 20 minutes away, I think it was the next day, at 9 a.m. down a four-wheel drive track. So she had a little hatchback, and it wasn't really a car that would drive down a road like that. You know, it's hard to drive a car like that. So it's interesting because if that guy who was driving the red ute was involved, I mean, he had a car that would be able to get down a road like that. So I don't know how her car ended up down there. We're going to try and find out some information today. And I just wanted to say that I often have family and friends of the missing persons, you know, tune into my readings. And I just wanted to say, if you're here, I'm so sorry that this has happened. You know, it's horrible not having the answers. And I don't claim to be 100% correct in my readings. I never claim that. I mean, I could be wrong, but there's a lot of readings that I have done, spirit sessions especially, where there's very accurate information. There could be triggers, just so you're aware, in this reading, okay? Oh, okay, I've got to take a deep breath. I feel like, yeah, I just feel overwhelmed with it actually a little bit. So I just got to ground my energy, call in spirit, calling in our spirit team. Thank you, angels. We're going to cleanse the energy. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you guys for being with me today. I really do love joining me and, you know, talking in the chat. So, oh, gosh, all right, let's get started. Now, these are usually love readings, okay, these energy cards that I use for the energy, but sometimes I can read them in a very different way. And, I mean, sometimes there is a love connection in people's lives, but we don't know yet. I don't know what's going on with Traie's life. But let's have a look. Thank you, angels. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, my spirit team. All right, we're going to see the energy. I want to look at the energy that Traie was in at the altercation, because apparently they had an altercation, I'm pretty sure, prior to just going to the petrol station. And I don't know how long before it was that they were at the petrol station that this occurred. From what I was reading, I'm pretty sure it happened, well, it happened that night. It might have happened like within minutes of them driving in there. I don't know. But it happened, and I don't know if that driver has ever come forward to police. It would be really great if someone could confirm that if they do know. But it's never been stated in any articles that I've read that this person has been cleared of any involvement. So I find that sus in itself, but you know, it could be a coincidence. Strange things happen, you know, in life where it looks like one particular direction and one person's done it, when in actual fact it could be somebody else entirely. But it's just interesting that she did have a conflict with someone and then she's gone missing. So let's have a look. Okay, thank you, angels. Take a deep breath. Okay, can we please see the energy that Traie was in at the time of the altercation? Sidetracked, delays, distractions, change. So, interesting. They might have driven to the side of the road and had something like a conversation on the side of the road. It could have been that one came up beside the other and you know how sometimes when there's two lanes or someone overtakes and they might have clipped each other, or yeah, it's just interesting that word's coming up, and someone could have been distracted on the road, which caused some kind of some altercation. I don't know if there was a very minor collision or what happened, but it looks like that there's been a distraction, and it might have, definitely made them stop and delay whatever destination they were going to. So that's interesting. And wow, okay, trapped, stuck, tied down, captive. So, okay, so, you know, I don't know if this is right, but it could be that, and I don't know so much about these words down here, but the word trapped makes me feel that did the person, maybe it was the ute, drove in front of her and trapped her in, like wouldn't let her drive past, just in a way of like getting pissed off with her. We don't know. Maybe he got angry with her because she overtook him and she was going too slow. I mean, who knows? Sometimes there's very aggressive drivers on the road. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened. We don't really know. But I just find it interesting, the trapped thing here. So did she feel trapped that she had to, maybe she was in her car and she didn't get out of her car initially, okay, and he's walked over to her, got out of his, ute or truck, whatever you want to call it, and he's walked over to her and gotten angry with her, and she feels trapped in that situation in her car. So she had to find somewhere where there's people around her. That's just something I'm just getting here, that she may have felt quite trapped in that situation at that moment. She might have felt a little scared. Yeah, look at this, charging forward, the chariot. The chariot is the vehicle. And what this means is that you have a choice to go this way or this way. So if she felt like she was trapped in and she couldn't go either way, backwards or forwards, it might have been that he did trap her in. I remember driving on a highway in my local town, and I was doing the speed limit. And this crazy ass guy, like he was seriously in this four-wheel drive behind me, right up my ass. Like, I do swear, sorry guys, but he was right up, like right behind my vehicle. I thought he was going to hit me. And there was cars everywhere. Like, I had other cars in front of me. I couldn't go faster even if I wanted to, which I wasn't going to, because I was doing the speed limit. But if it was just me and him on the road, I would have gone faster for him to get away from me. So I didn't feel like I could go anywhere at that moment because there were cars all around me. I don't know about Traie and this guy, though. They may have been the only ones on the road. But I remember this guy, when the traffic kind of dispersed a little bit more, we were driving further down, and he actually swerved so quickly in front of me and put on his brakes, I nearly went up the back of him. And he was so aggressive. And I swear he was on something. And it was just crazy. So I thought, wow, it's interesting because that happened to me. Did this guy do the same to her, swerve in front of her, get in the way of her, and force her to stop her vehicle? Did that happen? It looks like she wanted to, she might have sped. She might have been speeding away as well from this, just to get away from him. Oh, man, I feel so breathless. I don't know why. Okay, can we get the negative energies here? So this is the Divine Shadow Self Oracle that I created. These are my Divine Journey Tarot that I created. Just so you know, these Shadow Self messages I created these because we often have positive moods and we can have negative moods. Now, this is a negative experience for her. I want to see what's going on at this time for Traie, okay? That fell on the ground. Oh, yes, dark. So, yeah. So it was dark where she was, of course, at night, in the middle of the morning, okay, 1 a.m. But it could have been that she was feeling dark thoughts about this. It could have been fear. It could have been anger, you know, at this guy. Yeah. So let's have a look at what else is coming up with this. A grudge. Yeah, she was holding a grudge. Or the other guy was. I mean, the guy was holding a grudge. She might have been holding a grudge. This is her energy. And it's just very interesting. Because when I look at the CCTV footage, we see her really having a go at him. Like, she's angry. She's got highly charged emotions. Her emotions are heightened. You can see it. She's pointing at him. She's getting really angry. She kind of leans in and says something probably very loudly, maybe swears at him. I don't know. But then you see her, after she pays for her petrol, she goes back walking over to his vehicle. So she's got a grudge. There's something she wants to get off her chest. Maybe she wants him to admit something that he's done. She wanted some confrontation with him. So it's interesting because here we see that, okay, maybe she was fearful if they had an altercation and they both stopped. Maybe it wasn't even getting out and having a conversation. It could have been that just his actions in the car made her feel scared. But she's come out and she's angry now at the servo gas station. Oh, look at that bully. Wow. Yeah, this is so interesting because he might have bullied her. She could have bullied him, because it's so interesting when you see the CCTV footage. The way she's coming at him makes it look like she's bullying him. But what did he do? Okay, what did he do to cause this within her, this reaction? I don't believe it was just something really minor. I just don't get that idea. I feel like he's really, he's triggered something within her for sure. And sometimes there are people who can overreact, and that might have happened with her. But it's just so interesting, this bully energy here. So it's like she was on the defense. It might have felt like she was on the attack, like she was being attacked, I should say. Desperation. Yeah, she was desperate at that moment. She was desperate for something, like an answer. Maybe she wanted his details. He wouldn't give them. I don't know. It's weird. You know, if you have an accident or something like that. But it could have been that he was really angry at her, and he might have driven past and swore at her and given her, you know, flipped the bird at her. What do they say? Flip the bird. You know, stuck his finger up at her is what they say. Is what they say. But, yeah, I feel like he is aggressive. So let's have a look what's happened. Okay, we got the energy around this servo, okay, the gas station. What's happened once she's left? Oh, shivers. Hang on a minute. Once they've both left, let me do that again. They're all flying out everywhere. What has happened, please, to Traie after she's left that gas station? Wow. Running, ghosting, disappearing. Yeah, she disappeared. It's exactly what happened. But maybe she was running from this guy, like, you know, not so much, well, who knows? Maybe she got out of her car and ran away from him. We don't really know what's happened. But it does show running like somebody wanting to get the hell away. Emotional. Oh my God, guys. Emotional whirlwind and the chase. Holy shit. Oh no. It's become turbulent. Okay, so it looks to me that somebody has given chase in the car and the other person's speeding off. Something like that's happened, it looks like here. Because we've got relentless pursuit. The chase and running. So I feel like this was her energy trying to get away from this. You know, if you wanted to reverse it, you could say, well, was she coming after him because she was angry at that stage? Was she trying to, you know, chase him down so that he would pull over so they could have a conversation? Either way we look at it, oh God, it didn't end well. It hasn't ended well. Defiance. Defensive. Yeah, that was her energy, very defensive and lustful. Well, I don't see it as in like sexual lustful. I don't get that energy. I feel like with lustful, it means that she's really, I think that she's obsessed about something and she's not backing down. She's holding a grudge. And it could have definitely been that she was not happy with not getting some kind of answer from him. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just so interesting because I feel like when we look at him, he seems like he's the one that's passive, but I don't know. I don't know. But she was defiant with something as well. So it's very, very interesting how this guy has triggered these emotions within her. I'm wondering what might have been happening earlier for her in the night, because I feel like this guy has triggered something that was already going on within her, and it's just her heightened emotions have come through where she's really angry. Yeah, wow, that's coming up again. Ghosting, running ghosting. It said ghosting here, invisible, disappearing. So then she just disappeared, which we know she didn't just disappear off the face of the earth. Something's happened to her. But it's interesting, isn't it, that flighty, wow, flighty, wanting to get the hell out of there, wanting to take flight. You know how they say if you're in a situation where you're in survival mode, you'll either freeze, fight, or, you know, be flighty. So it's like freeze, fight, flight. So what we see here is that she was trying to get away. So that tells me that he was chasing her. That makes sense. Internalizing. Yeah, she might have been really feeling, and drained is on the back here. She might have been feeling in some ways that yeah, what's that internalizing? Nourish, self-growth. So in some ways she didn't really look after herself enough. And I think that's kind of, it's hard to explain it, but I think in some ways that if she had have had maybe more self-esteem or lived, I don't know what her choices were in life, but it looks like she didn't feel like she was strong enough to be able to deal with the situation. Yeah. And maybe she went back to, like, this triggered a like a response by default within her. Something's happened where if she has been in abusive relationships in the past, all she's known is to get the hell, you know, to run away, to get the hell out of there. But it seems like someone was on a mission. Okay, so I don't know what's happened here. Let's have a look. The world journey completed. Yeah, that's where her journey was completed. She didn't go anywhere else. I don't feel that she took off somewhere on her own. Someone might say, okay, well, she got out of her car and she just ran away somewhere and something happened to her. I mean, that could have happened. You know, we don't ever know. He might have been the catalyst for her disappearance. He might not have been the one to make her disappear as such, like in terms of harming her. But yeah, I find this interesting. Like, she would have been found by now, I'm sure of it, if she had just say, for instance, she was freaking out, he was chasing her down the dirt track, and she's gotten in that ditch and got bogged or whatever, and then she's taken off, run off into the dark or whatever. I'm sure she would have been found by now. It doesn't make sense to me that she's just suddenly, it's not like there's big caves or cliff faces, you know what I mean? Like, this is, I think, flat terrain. There's only bushes and things like that around there. So I can't imagine that she, after all the search and rescue teams and drones and helicopters and police, all around there, would not have found her by now. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel that someone was involved. Trustworthy and dedicated. Yeah, so anxiety and fear. This might be a person, this guy, that many people actually see as a trustworthy guy. He might be someone who works in the local community. He might be a tradie. Somebody who seems to be very trustworthy. Anxiety and fear was within her. Jeez. And, you know, if it wasn't that guy, because as I said, I don't always know everything. If it wasn't that guy at the petrol station, was it somebody that she knew, that she was meeting up with, that she trusted? You could see it that way. I don't know. I don't really feel it. Let's see what else is coming up with this. We've got drained, disconnection, shame and boredom. So this is just all things that may have been within her that night. What positives could she have been feeling earlier in the day or the night? Enthusiastic about something. Charismatic, knowledgeable. So she had knowledge of something. She was feeling maybe really good about something, had energy to move towards something. Artistic, healthy. So she might have been inspired to change her life around in some way. She might be artistic. They're just the positives coming through. Let's get my crime oracle now. We're going to see what this has to say regarding Traie. Thank you, angels. Wow, it's flying on the ground. Hang on a minute. Oh, gosh. This says July. I don't know much about the dates of when things happened. I do know that she went missing in February, but I don't know if there's any other updates. But it could be something in future to look out for. Oh, wowies. Devil in disguise. Manipulator, trickster, hiding in the shadows. And we got the Jack. So was someone's name Jack? Does his name start with J? Freaking weird, because was someone waiting for her? If it was the guy in the ute, did he drive off before she did and was waiting for her? I don't know, guys. It's weird. It's weird, but country, wilderness, green, lush. Yeah, she's around trees. She's definitely where there's trees. Lots of trees. Okay. So I'm talking about the trigger, like, was she tied up and bound? Oh, gosh. Beach. So it may not necessarily mean a literal beach. It could, well, you know, it could be something like Beach Road. It could have the name beach in it. Sometimes it doesn't actually literally mean a beach. There could be somewhere that's like a street name, okay, around there, a road. It could be that there is like a waterway, saltwater, sand that might look like that around where she is. Could be that colour. Wow, okay. Dumpster, landfill, trash. So was something thrown in the bin? Evidence, perhaps? And we've got local, global, travel, overseas. So has this guy, does he go back and forth for work? Is he local to the area? I feel like he is local. Whoever it is involved here, I'm not saying it's exactly that guy at the server. I really don't know at the end of the day. But this guy, I feel, may even be overseas. Oh, God, I hate this phone. May even be overseas right now as I'm doing this reading. That could be something. November is a date. Jealousy issues, personal. Very interesting. And new identity, don't want to be found, fresh start, new life. I don't feel that with her, unfortunately. I just don't get that idea that she's just hopped on a plane trying to have a new life. I just don't get that idea. I mean, God, if it ever came true, I'd be so surprised. I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. But at the same time, I just don't feel it. I don't feel like she's just tried to, you know, reinvent her whole life and just take off. I don't believe this was planned at all. I feel like something's happened to her. She had no shoes on from what I saw in the CCTV footage as well. So she wouldn't have been able to run far if she did run out of her car. Oh my God, strangulation and overdose. What? Did she have something in her system? Was she on something? It may not have been. Like, it's two methods of you know, dying here. There's strangulation or overdose. So I'm not really sure which one it might mean, but it's interesting. We've got the drugs here. Did someone try and make it look like an overdose? Was there drugs on her, in her handbag? Pills? There's just something here that people might, you know, see that if they had her, well, they've got her car. I don't know what belongings they found in there, but did somebody do this to her? Look at the car accident. Now, it wasn't obviously that severe, but it still shows there was an altercation with them. And it's a red car. Isn't that interesting? It's a red car. Gunshot shooting. I'm not sure what that is. Some cards, I have to say, some cards do come out, which I have no idea what the relevance is. They may not actually be relevant at all. It's just a card that's come out. We don't know. Maybe this guy has a gun license. Maybe he goes rifle shooting at his local gun club. We don't know. Forest Path Mossy. I might have to Google the area and find out what kind of landscape is around there, really. Because I'm not really sure of the whole place. I haven't seen it properly. I might do a case study on it. Got the city, urban, and justice. So, could be that somebody lives in the city, like the main city there. Justice is coming in. Yeah, look at that. Legal court documents, eyewitness statements. Okay. Someone might be coming forward with information. That's interesting. Ran over, hit and run, hit by a vehicle. God, I hope she wasn't hit by his vehicle. Oh, God. See, I've got horrible things in my head now, like if she came out of a car and ran off, did he actually run her over? God. Well, I'm not saying that's exact, you know. It says hit by a vehicle. Maybe their cars hit each other. But it would be a hit and run, basically. But, yeah, it seems like this person has definitely disposed of her helper. So someone might have helped this guy to cover this up, to cover the evidence, to get rid of it. Maybe help move her body. Okay, so long hair. I think she had long hair. Springtime could be significant for this case. August as well, which is around spring, just before it. Misadventure lost. So that's what I feel like they're trying to make it look like by putting her car in there. I don't believe she became lost. I don't get that idea at all. I don't believe that. Summer, accomplice, female suspect. Interesting that we got long hair and then a female here. So did the guy have somebody in the car with him? Was it a female? Does she suspect or have any knowledge if he does have a girlfriend? Crime of passion and rage. I'm telling you, it's impulsive. This person did not plan to do this. I feel like this just was something that was building up that night and someone snapped and she's been buried. So I don't know. I feel like it's a shallow grave. I don't believe... I mean, unless he had a shovel in his, ute tray or something. But I just feel like she's been buried. She's under something. She might be under a bush. I think I had a vision of like this really big bark that might be over her body, which drones and that would not be able to see a body under there. Depends on how far. I don't think she's near her car. I think that may have been to throw police off. Because that was 20 minutes away her car was found from the petrol station. And I think she's been taken further than that. Known to police in the system, criminal record. Now, if this guy... I'm just thinking if this guy with the red ute is involved. If he is, maybe that's why he's not come forward. Because he's known to police and already has... he might be in trouble for other things. If it's not him, it's somebody else who has a criminal record. And medium length hair. We've got a male suspect. We've got family. So his family might know. We've got mental illness, stress, fragmented breakdown. I feel like this might have been Traie's energy at that time. She might have been feeling like she was just coming apart mentally. December is, I'm just going to pull out a couple more, not too many. We've got arson, burned down, so maybe there was some evidence burnt. And travel, there we go, the car's there. I feel like she was put in a car. Yeah, I feel like she was taken in the car. In his car. Yeah, look at that. Bushland forest. A break and enter, whatever that means. Maybe that's a past crime. I don't really know what that means. Unless he was trespassing on some kind of property he wasn't really allowed to be on. I don't know. Retrieved, rescued. So it looks like her body may be found. It does say saved, retrieved, you know. So, wow, hang on a minute. Just a couple more, please. Unsolved. So there might be some parts of this case unsolved. Maybe the perpetrator won't be found. I don't know. It's interesting that legal document and justice is coming in. You know, sometimes when there's justice and the perpetrator's caught, it doesn't necessarily mean that we know all the details of what happened, because only the killer knows that. Someone's a smoker. Oh, October is significant here. And body, a boat of water. Maybe she's like, maybe there is a river or a lake around where she is. Somebody might own a boat. He could own a boat. And, okay. Guilty knowledge did the act and suffocation. So it's interesting. We've got the airways, like the throat, the breathing, the respiratory kind of side here. So maybe she was strangled or suffocated somehow. Yeah, manipulation, evasive, okay. And there was confusion here as well. Oh, gosh, we've got to cleanse our energy after these readings, because they can be very intense, very sad. And I'm not saying this is 100% correct. I could be wrong. I really hope I am wrong. I really do. I really hope that she's somewhere just hiding out, you know, wherever she might be. Yeah, so we're going to find out some things here regarding... you know, how many kilometers she might be from her car. How many kilometers is Traie from her vehicle? She might be southwest. Now, this is not ever 100%. I know I keep saying it, but it's just an idea. It may be clues, okay? She could be southwest of her vehicle. I just fell down. 110 to 160 kilometers. That's quite a long way. I don't think she'd be that far, but I mean, who knows? If somebody's really keen on, you know, hiding a body. I didn't really feel that that was what it was, but, oh, we don't know, do we? Okay, as I said, that's why I don't feel like they're all, what's the word? Correct, but anyway, it can give us an idea. All right, can we get an idea, please, as to when this may come about? Okay, years. It could take a few years yet to get information. Oh, God, I hope not. I really hope not. It's already been just over a year now. You know, some of these cases can be cold cases, and I just really hope not. So June's coming up. January. There's all these dates. I mean, once you pull them all out, you know, an accident. I think someone's trying to make it look like... Well, there was an accident. We had a car accident. Yeah, so just one more card, please, Spirit. Reunions and celebrations. So it kind of reminds me of like an anniversary, and I feel like, I don't know if her family are going to do a memorial for her. Yeah, I feel like in some ways they may already suspect that she's not coming back home, okay? And that just breaks my heart. It really does. Yeah, so I'll just see if there's anything else I can bring here. What else can we do? So, okay, let's see what would Traie want her family to remember her by, okay? Which I'm sure they do remember many good memories of her. But I think what she really wants them to focus on right now, just for their own healing as well, to embody this within themselves, is easygoing energy, assertive energy, extroverted. So maybe she's just letting people know, just keep living your life, you know, just keep going with life and be assertive when you need to be. I feel like she's surrounding them, and hopefully the answers will come soon, guys, and she still wants them to be a voice for her. So, wow, I might do a case study on this, guys, very soon. I'm glad to be back, and thank you for being here.